Hey guys, what is up? It's Fractals here. Just wanted to make a highlight video of a recent game update for Guild Wars 2 that I deem it as the biggest quality of life patch that ArenaNet has sent out. Now, whether or not it's too late for those who have left the game, I still wanted to make this video to showcase some of the topics that I think will likely draw players back. So with that said, let's begin. So one of the biggest things that they changed was basically made a lot of things feel more rewarding, and that generally equates to more experience gain. So now every time you kill a creature, you gain 50%. You do events and stuff, I think it increases by like 30% of the total experience. So every time when you're running anything around the world now, you'll feel like you're being rewarded more for your time being put in. They did a lot of quality of life changes on the Heart of Maguma maps, but what interested me the most was more of the dungeon changes, the fractal changes, and the daily changes. So I'm just gonna go over that briefly. So with dungeons now, every time you run 8 unique paths, you will gain 5 gold. And they don't have a daily reset on them. You just have to run 8 different paths and you'll be rewarded. Note that you can run story mode for the dungeons, so some cases story mode could be an alternative to a normal path to run for a shorter period of time. And I did the math on it. You ultimately gain a little bit less gold, like you'll lose out on a few silvers compared to pre-hot nerf, but since they upped the dungeon tokens by twice the amount, you technically get more for your time spent, because you'll be able to buy the rares or buy the exotics and then salvage them to get ectos, to get insignias, to maybe even get runes. So overall it is a slight buff, but it does require you to manage your tokens and inventory a little bit more. So that said, one of the more interesting changes was with the dailies. So now they revamped the daily system. A lot of the dailies now have both hot and even dungeon and adventures requirements to them for the PvE aspect of it. I do know that they added like a PvP match where you can either win or lose, it doesn't matter as long as you stuck it through. You'll also gain that 1 point in completion towards your overall daily completionist. Once you complete 3 dailies, you will be rewarded with 2 gold. Now that is just raw income, liquid gold to drive the incentive for us players to complete the dailies, and I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty nice that they're giving us this side income. They've also added a golem DPS check in the game, which is something really cool that you can test yourself. You can set the settings on the golem to have large health pool, low health pool, the size of the golem, any type of conditions on him or boons, and you can also set anything on yourself as well. It's just a really cool way to check how your class DPS is like, or even your own personal one. You can also check to see how the other people are doing, and self-check yourself to see how you're doing as well. So it's just a really cool way for ArenaNet to make to give us these tools that I feel like were pretty essential for any MMO to have. So props to ArenaNet on that. Fractals is by far the most easiest way to make gold. So essentially what they did with the current Fractals system is they revamped it to have separate tiers of the same dungeon fractal. So for example, you could do like a Molten Furnace, and in Molten Furnace you have the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. And if you're high enough with your agony resistance and you have a good group that you found to run these certain fractals every day, you can knock out these fractals. And the best part about this is that if you do the higher level fractals, you knock out all the previous tier fractals along with it. So if you're able to do a tier 4, you basically save out on running 3 other runs in general, and you ultimately get more loot boxes, fractal boxes, and keys. And the other thing to note is that you can also buy those keys for 20 silvers each, 30 up to 30 a day, and unlock those fractal boxes, and you can make a very good amount of income. I think each fractal boxes can drop anywhere between like 20 silvers to sometimes even like 60 silvers or more, depending on what type of junk you receive from the box. So that is actually a very good way to earn money income. I personally, when I have much more keys than boxes, I could run and farm the level 21, which is Mossman Farm, or the level 40, which is the Molten Boss, which can be downed really quickly if you have a high enough DPS group. However, I still recommend the level 21 Mossman, since it is easier for those who are just getting into the swing of things. You get 1 less fractal box, but you save on a lot of hassle. And they also added a level 80 boosters for those who've purchased Heart of Thorns, which, by the way, they gave us a account-wide slot for our bags. So once you finish using your level 80 boost, you'll have that slot to use forever. And with the 80 boost, you can either use it on a new character, or if you're already a character completionist like me, you could always use it, and it has so many goodies. It has like the celebration die, it has a lot of boosters, it has a lot of waypoint to friends, just a lot of goodies that honestly I wasn't really expecting from ArenaNet. But anyways, that was the highlights for this patch for me. In my opinion, I think this patch should have came out months ago, maybe even before Heart of Thorns came out, or definitely within the first few months of launch, because there were just so many issues going on with Heart of Thorns. It even made me not really want to play the game anymore. And even with this patch out, like, my drive for this game is still not as it was before, but it has made me come back into the game just to check things out. Yeah, so anyways, thank you for watching, guys. Take care. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel to see my content. It'll mean a lot to me, so thank you.